As the curtain is raised on the 8th season of play in the WNBA, we welcome you to the Mohegan Sun Arena here in the southeastern portion of Connecticut. A sellout crowd of 10,000 on hand to watch the Phoenix Mercury take on the home team, the Connecticut Sun. Hi, everybody. I'm Terry Gannon. Thrilled to have you alongside me, a Hall of Famer and one who's headed there. Ann Meyers and Geno Auriemma, the head coach of the UConn Huskies. And Annie, you were one of the great players in the history of this game, but it's been a long time since a player has entered professional basketball with this much fanfare. Well,
there's been some unbelievable players, but also, you know, Geno had an opportunity to coach a special kid, and she's a great kid, a person, but she's an even better player, and when she's out on the floor, she makes everybody better. And that's the thing that sets her apart, the fact that she raises everybody else's game. You know her as well as anyone. You coached her to 3 national titles. What makes her so special?
Yeah, well, she can see things that nobody else can see, and she helps you get better because she knows when you're open even before you know. So that's a quality nobody else has.
It's always an adjustment, no matter what. A lot of pressure on her shoulders. With more on that, here's the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke.
NBA, just as the NBA used Magic Johnson and Larry Bird to put a new face on their league back in the early 1980s, so the WNBA finds itself wishing upon a new group of stars. The focal point of this heralded rookie class, obviously, is Diana Taurasi, who, when asked about bearing up under that burden, simply said, without pressure, people are just average. Well, with 3 national titles and an Olympic team berth to her credit, she has proven to be anything but average, guys.
That sounds like a Geno line to me. You've used that maybe once or twice.
Well, that might be the only thing she remembered after 4 years.
Check out the starting lineups today as Phoenix is playing their 2nd game. They're 0-1. They lost to Sacramento the other night. But Taurasi and Debbie Black, one of the best defensive players in the league. That'll be fun to watch all day. Nikisha Sales, another UConn player. There are 3 of them in this game today. So we are set to go. The opener for the Connecticut Sun. Last year they were 18-16, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and won the first playoff series in their history.
And really, Terry, look for an up and down game. Both these teams are looking to put a lot of points on in fast break situations.
Debbie Black controls out front with Taurasi guarding her. That's the matchup we just talked about, especially at the other end. But you're right, and both teams really like to push it. So you look for a game in the 80s. Cosmic Williams-Franklin with the miss, and Adrian Williams clears it.
Well, Phoenix is a team that is looking to score points with Diana Taurasi on the team because they were last in the league last year, averaging just over 61 points a game.
Here's Taurasi. The guards really struggled for Phoenix in that loss to Sacramento. It was a 6-point loss, 72-66, and Williams misfired, and here comes the Sun.
Well, McCray and DeForge were 0 for 10 and in the backcourt, and that's one thing that Mike Thibault said, we got to look to get the ball inside against Phoenix. We don't think they're that strong inside.
Penny Taylor stole it, and here comes DeForge, and that's what you talked about. DeForge was 0 for 7, her first shot of this game. She's 1 for 1 so far.
Well, that's the kind of play that I was talking about. As soon as Diana caught it, she knew that if Anna DeForge cut, she would give it back to her, and that's just a quality of play that she knows.
And Geno, if you're DeForge, you're a shooter. You're going to keep shooting. An 0 for 7 night's not going to bother you.
No. Shooters, I mean, they have very short memories, Terry. You remember that, right?
Yes, I do. I don't remember, as a matter of fact. Debbie Black along the baseline, and if she can do that, that'll be a key for this team, man.
Well, Debbie Black came off the bench last year for Connecticut Sun. The first time she came off the bench, had started in this league, only averaged 2 points a game, and Mike Thibault said, look, Pee-wee Johnson is gone, you're going to have to look to score more points. But for Phoenix, Geno, don't you think they've got to get the ball inside to Diana Taurasi and post Debbie Black up?
Well, they just tried to do that, and Debbie Black, I thought, did a pretty good job of pushing her out of the lane, but they're trying to do that right now.
Loose ball foul underneath. Adrian Williams picks up her first, and there's Carrie Graft in her first WNBA season as the head coach, was an assistant, and has been around this league. Also is from Australia and is coach there. And Mike Thibault in his 2nd year did an outstanding job last year as a first-year head coach here in Connecticut, taking them to the playoffs and winning a playoff series for the first time in franchise history.
With all the experience he had in the NBA and the players that he's been around, he really knew what to do.
Katie Douglas, the left-hander, with the miss, but Wendy Palmer clears the board. And Palmer last year did not have a typical season for her. She was not in the best of shape. They expect much bigger things out of her, and much more inside with more active players in the post for Mike Thibault. Here goes Palmer.
She went over to Hungary in the offseason, lost about 15 pounds, and you know, it was a tough year for her emotionally last year. Also lost her aunt and a best friend.
Penny Taylor on the spin, a little bit out of control. Was the 6'1" forward from Australia, and here come the Sun. They look to run as much as possible.
No, we played almost 3 minutes, and it's 2-2 because shot selection leaves a little bit to be desired right now, and that's. You just want people to take open shots, and if they don't go in, they don't go in. But right now, we're not seeing the best shot selection.
That was Nikisha Sales, one of your former players in her 6th year out of UConn.
And you look at those open shots, Geno, and really, where's the inside play? I mean, Connecticut talked about getting the ball inside to their post players, and you look at the advantage that Phoenix has as far as their perimeter players to post up, and they should be a little bit more patient in the offense.
Yeah, neither team wants to be patient. You know, you mentioned earlier you have two teams that both want to run up and down, and right now they've got to find a rhythm. They don't have it.
Lynette Pearson, a 6'2" forward out of Texas Tech in her 2nd year in the WNBA, in right now. Adrian Williams goes to the bench. Here's Pearson. Tipped out Taurasi. What a look. Out to DeForge behind the arc. In and out. The touch pass, though. Here's Sales, 2 UConn players.
It's early in the season, and those shots are going to have to drop at Phoenix. That's a great move right there.
Cosmic Williams Franklin, who just came back from Italy. She was playing in Parma, and here she is with her first bucket of the game.
You know, the lane is more open this year. It's out to 16 feet like the NBA, and I think it really opens things up for the inside players to make moves like that.
Now, you saw the Phoenix game, the opener the other night. Did it have a great effect on the game?
There's one 3-second call in the game. You might see a little bit more this year because players don't know how far to set up.
Scramble on the floor. Look who's there. Debbie Black comes up with it. Up ahead to Sales. Behind the arc. No, she's got her foot on the line, but that's a deuce. She's 1 for 2 in the game. And it's a 4-point lead for the Sun.
And Nikisha's saying to D, you know, I was you before you were you.
Yeah, she talked about it. We met with them last night, that when she came back and worked her out, she worked it out pretty hard. There's DeForge, and she's got her 2nd bucket. It's a 2-point game.
Well, at the shoot-around today, Carrie Graff was talking to Nikki McCray saying, you've got to stay on Nikisha Sales because she is so good with the basketball.
There she is.
That's a great matchup, too, Nikki McCray and Nikisha Sales.
Quick hands. Good strip by Taylor. Here comes DeForge all alone. Just a teammate alongside. Easy bucket for Anna DeForge. She may have been 0 for 7 the other night. She's got 3 buckets in the game already.
Now, Penny Taylor was the #1 player picked by Phoenix in the dispersal draft, and with Carrie Graff coaching, you know, that Australian connection, she's really stepped up coming into the season.
Yeah, the dispersal draft with the team, the league losing a team, but then the excitement with the college draft and all the free agency movement. A lot of movement in the league this year, and Mike Tebow, one of those. He really remade this lineup. We're tied at 6 in the early going.
The WNBA on ABC, brought to you by Secret, the official antiperspirant of the WNBA. Dell, flexible enterprise solutions that are easy to buy, easy to own, easy as Dell. Nokia, connecting people. And Adidas basketball, impossible is nothing.
The Mercury and the Sun tied up at 6. You know, Taurasi's not the only heralded rookie in this game. Lindsay Whalen, the 5'8" guard from Minnesota, really captivated everybody's attention and the hearts of all Minnesotans the last few years. What a great college player she was. The 4th overall pick. She has yet to get into the game. Scramble down low, and it's Nikki McCray who picks up the loose ball, gets the first bucket of the game for her. 2-point lead for Phoenix.
And that particular time, they were trying really hard to get Diana the ball posted up on Nikisha Sales, but right now they're not really sharp. They haven't spent enough time together. You can see it.
Neither team really has the rhythm so far. Connecticut with 3 turnovers already. Wendy Palmer.
What's really difficult about this league is it takes about 8 to 10 games because you've got players coming from overseas. They've got to adjust to the small ball. You've got a lot of new players in the league this year, a lot of young players understanding the game itself.
scramble and a jump ball, and there are no alternate possessions in the WNBA. While we have a moment, a reminder, ABC Sunday, there are only 3 more days to take home the ultimate prize, $10 million. Super Millionaire, night 5 at 10, 9 Central. ABC Sunday.
Oh, I thought we had a chance on that.
Yeah, no shot. You work for the company. Sorry about that. 6-0 run for the Mercury. Take the 2-point lead, but the Sun control the tip. You mentioned all the changes. That's the way it is and the way it may be for a while because of free agency now in the WNBA and such great players coming out every year from the college ranks. Ann.
Well, and a lot of veteran players lost positions, I think, this year because of salary situations with teams. They went with the rookies.
Wendy Homer got caught underneath. Here comes DeForge. Gray thought about it for a moment. It's going to pull it back out. Neither team really able to get it up and down so far. Pearson. Lynette Pearson, the 6'2" forward out of Texas Tech, and it's a 4-point lead now for Phoenix.
The game is being played the way the Mercury want to play it because they're keeping the Sun from running. And you can see that after they shoot the ball, all the Sun players are sprinting up the floor, but they're not getting the ball out of bounds quick enough, and they're not rebounding the ball well enough to get into their fast break.
Well, and that's a big thing, too. Mike Tebow talked about the transition defense. They're focusing too much on getting back, and you're going to see the rookies come into the game right now. Asia Jones is not a rookie, but she's new with Connecticut Sun this year. But the fact is, like you just said, Geno, they've got to start hitting the offensive glass.
Asia Jones in for Connecticut. Also Lindsay Whalen in the game for the Sun right now. And for Phoenix, Sharika Wright, another rookie from Purdue.
Should have been an All-American last year. Sharika Wright at Purdue had a great year for them.
And here's Whalen, 5'8" guard from Hutchinson, Minnesota.
So you'll see the Sun maybe going a little bit of a spurt right now.
Sails a wild shot, a little bit out of control.
Well, it was wild, but I like the fact, though, that she was looking to go inside.
Here's Wright, who had a good preseason. Lynette Pearson drives the lane, throws it away as Wright steps on the line, so it'll go back to Connecticut.
Mike Tebow is going to teach Lynette Pearson the NBA rule. Once you get into the lane, you never pass the ball.
Everybody's looking for that shot to go up.
That's right.
Tebow, who's been around this game for a long time, was an assistant with the Bucks, with the Bulls, when Michael Jordan came to Chicago, with the Lakers as well. He had some interesting things to say about Michael's first year dealing with all the hype as it relates to players like Taurasi.
Well, I compare it to kind of like in '79 when I tried out for the Pacers and just the media influx. But, I mean, that's 25 years ago, and you didn't have the ESPN had just started and so many other people, so I didn't get a lot of attention, even though I thought I did. But '93 when Cheryl Swoops was Player of the Year, but nothing like Diana, and you've seen that a lot. I mean, Shemiko Holzclaw got it a lot at Tennessee, but Diana has just been incredible as far as the media, and I don't know how she keeps her focus.
Whalen kicking it off.
Difficult, yeah.
Shot clock was running down.
Because emotionally you're spent, because you're spending so much time with the media and trying to make them happy.
Penny Taylor with the miss, and Sharika Wright over the back. So the first foul on her. She's got 1. Adrian Williams has 1, and Katie Christensen has 1 for Phoenix.
How did you control that at Connecticut with her?
Well, it's like anything else. I mean, it comes with the territory. I tell them, look, if you don't want all that attention, there's one way to solve it. Just be a bad player. But there you go.
Whalen on the move. Can't get it to go. Connecticut's gone almost 4 minutes without a bucket. The foul out front. Nikisha Sales picks up her first. A little bit ragged early on in this one, but Phoenix with the 2-point lead, the home opener for the Sun. Back in a moment. .11:58 left in the first half. Phoenix with a 10-6 lead on an 8:01 right now. Let's take a look at the Bud Light peak performers and look at Diana Taurasi against Sacramento, 22 points the other night, and also ended the first half with a half-court shot. So she did it in style.
Oh, she fouled out of that game, and that was tough. There you see the rebounding leaders, and Betty Lennox from Minnesota with 10, along with Nicole Oldie. And Oldie's doing very well at Minnesota. Lost a tough game to Seattle the other night.
End of the season, by the way, the WNBA players who lead the league in scoring and rebounds will share $25,000 compliments of Bud Light, portion of which will be donated to each of the players' local charity of choice. Lindsay Whalen picks up her first foul.
Lindsay Whalen's got some issues right now. She's got Diana Taurasi, or when there was a switch, she's going to have to guard. There's a break finally.
Whalen can't buy it. Second layup that she's missed so far. And it goes back to Phoenix. So maybe the jitters on that side of it for Lindsay Whalen.
She's pressing a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can tell that.
Well, we had talked to Mike Tebow before the game, and he said if you had the number 2 pick, who would you have gone with? He said, I would have gone with Lindsay Whalen. She has that intangible that Diana has as far as being very tough and understanding the game and who to get the ball to.
They traded an all-star point guard for the rights to that pick, the 4th pick overall. Douglas has it blocked out of bounds by Taurasi.
The one thing I've always loved about is Diana's defense. Diana Taurasi's defense does not get enough credit.
I can't tell you how many times she did this. You know, I'm screaming, but she always gets her hand on the ball. It's just uncanny.
Contact down low. It's going the opposite way. Asia Jones with a little extracurricular. So the offensive foul away from the ball, and it's Phoenix basketball. She told me yesterday that she would know at the point in this game when you were all over her. She'd know exactly why and when you would start. So it hasn't happened yet.
Well, no, it did. He was saying how ugly her shoes were.
That was before the game, before we went to air.
Now, she's done a lot of really good things so far.
Connecticut just 3 out of 14, as you saw, and there's the turnover.
And that shows you the impatient in the offense.
Whalen lost it to Jones. Little short jump shot, no good. Tipped up. Here comes Phoenix. But 3 out of 15 for the game now, and they've missed their last 8. Has Connecticut.
If you're going to run, Terry, you got to get the ball in the right people's hands.
Finally, they break the spell. Asia Jones with the bucket, and it's just a 2-point game. As poorly as they've shot the ball, they're just down by 2.
Asia Jones will really help them this year. They lost Brooke Rykoff, tore her ACL.
Good look from Taurasi over to right, but the walk before the bucket.
An overpass, Geno?
Yeah, she should have shot that ball. This is a good entry pass here by Lindsay Whalen, and this wasn't the key. This is what Asia Jones did for 4 years in college. She just has great footwork, great balance.
It was her footwork on that and how she pivoted to open everything up.
Yeah.
Pearson couldn't stay with her.
Jessica Brungo into the game, the star from Penn State, 2nd-round pick, 16th overall. Penn State a #1 seed this year. Got to the Elite 8.
You got to see her. You guys played then, right, Geno?
Cosmic Williams Franklin, short little jump shot. And she said over in Europe, she played on the perimeter, played some 2 and 3 spot, and really learned to play the perimeter game much better.
Loves going overseas. She's got great shape after having her baby Maya last year.
Sun on the run. No way that pass gets through.
No, that should have been the Katie Douglas on the left wing. Now she's caught. You know, Lindsay's kind of caught in between, you know, like she's trying to make a play, and then when she does, it doesn't go her way. Then if she doesn't do anything, she's not being aggressive enough. So you got to feel for her, but you know, give her a little time. She's tremendously talented.
But 5 quick turnovers at the other end by Phoenix, and they have 5. And Connecticut 4. You remember just a moment ago, Connecticut had 3 turnovers and the Mercury hadn't turned it over. That's why we're tied up at 10. Katie Christensen, spin move in the lane. Got it. Christensen, the 6'3" forward out of Cal Santa Barbara in her 3rd year in the league.
Kerry Grafton's talked about this Phoenix Sun team having a small lineup and then having to go to the big lineup. Now you got Christensen and Williamson together.
Jones, fade away, and Christensen clears it. Here comes Taurasi. Got to be a block, and it is. So Whalen picks up her 2nd foul, trying to stop Diana Taurasi. Sunday night, June 6th, the NBA Finals get underway on ABC. Still on. Beat the T-Wolves in the first game on the road yesterday. Pistons, Pacers still there. Join us in 2 weeks for the NBA Finals, beginning Sunday, June 6th at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ABC Sports.
With all the excitement of Diana Taurasi coming league, the one thing I think Phoenix has to be aware of is limiting her time. She had 38 minutes the other night, and not to wear her down. She went from the Olympic team. She was with you guys winning the national championship, and so resting her is going to be very important.
Yeah. I don't know that they're going to be in position where they can rest her. Yeah. There's a great play right there.
Adrian Williams with the walk before the bucket. So another turnover by Phoenix.
But she's not the type of player that wants to be rested either.
No, she'll tell you when she wants out, but not when her team's losing.
But isn't that one of the adjustments as you look at the turnovers, now Phoenix with 6, that you have to make when you step to this level, knowing that you do have to go to the bench every now and then?
Especially with the frequency of games that they play in this league. You don't have built-in rest, so you got to create them.
Whalen pressured, double teamed out top. Palmer after it was tipped, so there's no over and back.
Well, the 2 preseason games that Connecticut lost were against Houston and LA. And the biggest thing for Lindsay Whalen, she said, they're so long. I had to pass inside to Taj McWilliams-Franklin, and Lisa Leslie just, those arms unfolded to steal it away.
And the season, obviously, for those college players, the season ended not too long ago, and here they are starting another season, and all the players play in the offseason somewhere, whether it be Europe or here in the States. Williams, the fadeaway, not a great shot, and over the back, they're going to get Nikki McCray with the foul.
See, that's a shot I think that Williams has got to knock down. She can't put the ball on the floor. She was wide open. The dribble penetration was there. The defense was in. She had a chance to take the shot, and she put it on the floor and closed things off for herself.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of open shots. And I could see if the shot clock was running down, you know, and you're forcing things, but it's happening 15 seconds into the shot clock. See what I mean?
Whalen throws it away. And she said the game is quicker, obviously, and people are bigger. Their arms are longer. We found that out in the preseason right away.
It's going to be a difficult adjustment. You know, your second year is when you have some success in this league because you're a little bit rested. You know what to expect. This is going to be awfully tough on these rookies.
Spin by DeForge, who was 3 for 3 to start the game, and the foul away from the ball. We'll keep it at this end. Mike Tebow directing traffic. His Connecticut Sun down by 2 in their home opener here at the Mohegan Sun Arena. 2-point lead for Phoenix Mercury over the Connecticut Sun here in the first game, at least for Connecticut, as we open up the 8th season of play in the WNBA. You know, Geno, Auriemma, one of our partners today, has won 5 national titles at UConn. His players say it's because of his mild-mannered demeanor.
We're like father and daughter. Unbelievable. You know, it's funny because I learned from him. I just said that. Hopefully, I just, you know, made it a little bit easier on him, you know, in those situations where he's feeling stressed out and stuff. What did I say, D? Because, you know, I like to bring a little ease to any situation I'm in.
I think we understand each other, and I think that's why we get along so well.
You've had a lot of them, but she was certainly special to coach her to 3 national titles, Geno.
Yeah, she was special because when you said something she didn't want to hear, she pretended like she didn't hear you. And that's why I had to, what did I say, D? But then when you said, D, I want you to shoot, I want you to try to get a triple-double, she understood that completely.
Getting a rest right now, and she will not sit very often. As Ann said, she played almost 38 minutes in the opener against Sacramento just the other night.
It's those Italian guards that you bring in. Jen Rosati and Diana Taurasi seem to have this, not even a love-hate. I mean, you guys loved each other, but man, you could just lay out on them, and they just like, okay, get right back at you.
Well, she's got an intensity, you know, that you love, and that's what you want in players. You want that intensity level, and you know that's going to spill over into whether it's just players and coaches and players, and I have no problem with that. I encourage that.
8-26, the Mercury record last year, trying to do what Detroit did last year, go from worst to first. The Detroit Shock won the title last year, so 7:23 remaining here in the first half. The Mercury taking on the Sun at the Mohegan Sun Arena as the 8th season of play gets underway in the WNBA. Along with Ann Meyers, Geno Auriemma, I'm Terry Gannon. The Connecticut Sun, they have missed 11 of their last 13 shots, make it 12 of 14 now. Finally, the rookie gets it to go. Jessica Grumko from Penn State.
Well, that's where the Sun were getting beat, is on the boards. I mean, since the beginning of the game, Phoenix out-rebounded Connecticut 9-3. That was the first defensive rebounds Connecticut had in a long time.
Here's McCray kicking it over to Penny Taylor, who is one of the post players but can't handle the ball, and a nice drive by Taylor. Soft touch.
And see, that time 3 or 4 people touched the basketball. The ball changed sides of the floor, and they ended up getting a fairly easy shot. You know, that just needs to happen a little more often.
Now here's Lindsay Whalen, the rookie guarded closely by Taurasi, who just came off the bench, the third-year player from Wisconsin. Katie Douglas got this one. But few and far between, though, even the looks for her, Geno.
Yeah, there haven't been a lot of easy looks, and you know, when you're impatient, nobody gets easy looks. But when you're willing to work at it, things work out.
Lynette Pearson in and out. Here come the Sun. Whalen picked up the dribble, now nowhere to go, and almost threw it away.
Well, the tempo certainly changes when either one of these teams is hitting the defensive rebounds and they're getting inside.
Douglas knocked out of bounds, not off her leg. It will stay right here with the Sun. And look ahead to the WNBA games next Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern. The LA Sparks, certainly one of the favorites to win it all, taking on the team that won it all last year, the Detroit Shock, with Bill Lambier, who's a rookie head coach last year. Then Thursday, June 3rd at 10:30, it's the Mercury taking on the Storm on ESPN2. And Sparks playing the Comets on ABC. We got a season ahead here on ABC and ESPN2, WNBA. Got a 20-second timeout, so let's go to the Dasani timeout. Our Doris Burke
Geno's best
cut up with
Probably
Taurasi.
his confidence.
Your least favorite thing about him?
He gets a little impatient in practice, a lot.
His dancing style.
Horrible.
Your favorite movie's what?
Ooh, Bronx Tale.
Favorite designer?
Gap. You said a designer? My designer.
You got the Gap. You gotta like that. And she also added that not only did Geno dance very poorly, but he danced like Mark Madsen of the then Lakers.
It's all about championships with those guys.
That's because she's never even attempted to dance in public, because she doesn't want to look bad.
Geno's been at the White House more than President Bush lately, I'll tell you what. Had to be a nice visit the other day, though, right?
It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
Good steal by Pearson. Here she goes. McWilliams-Franklin chasing, but the lay-in. So Lynette Pearson with the hoop, and it's a 4-point lead for the Mercury.
Well, Connecticut, I thought coming into this season they'd have to make some adjustments. They lost Pee Wee Johnson, the trade to San Antonio. Debbie Black just had knee surgery 2 weeks ago, taking out a bone chip out of her knee. And Lindsay Whalen, the rookie, so some adjustments as far as who's running the team and maybe some bad passes.
Eddie Taylor somehow avoided the charge. Debbie Black with the rebound. It hasn't been pretty to this point. But Connecticut, as poorly as they have shot to be in this, the only down 4, got to feel good about themselves. And there's Wendy Palmer, 6'2" forward, the 2-time ACC Player of the Year at Virginia.
Well, they get the good passes, but I think Geno Auriemma alluded to it early in this game, is that Nikisha Sales has got to get involved more in the offense for Connecticut.
There's just no rhythm. There's no flow to the game. And Jessica Brungo, I like what she's done since she's been in the game. She's injected a little bit of energy into the Sun team.
Here is Sales. May have gotten away with a walk. McWilliams-Franklin, the left-hander,
Well, with Brungo's size, she can defend a lot of different positions.
Yeah, I really liked her coming out of high school. I thought she was going to be a really, really good college player, and she was, because she can play 3 positions probably.
And you see the players entering this year from some of the great programs in college basketball. The Penn States, the Minnesotas, and obviously the UConns.
Well, that was good, because now the players are starting to spread out, and that's why the game's a lot more competitive.
Diana Taurasi back here in the state of Connecticut, and it was interesting as the game started. We wondered how the crowd would react to Diana Taurasi. We knew they'd welcome her back, but when would they change then and get all over her because they're cheering for the Connecticut Sun? So far, hadn't been a whole lot of excitement crowd-wise or on the floor, because neither team has gotten into a rhythm. So much for a game in the 80s we talked about, Ann.
That's right. Taurasi's line right now is 0 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. She's 0 for 3 from the floor. So, you know, a little nervous before the game. Geno, you talked about that.
You know, I think players try too hard sometimes, and the harder they try, the less they get accomplished. And she probably wanted to play well today more than anybody. And just settling down is going to be a big key.
Doris Burke, what do you have?
Works here.
Not a lot of free throws in this first half either. It's only the second time that Phoenix has gone, well, they're not going to the free throw line, but they've only shot 2 free throws.
Hey, Doris, what do you have?
Well, Ann mentioned earlier in the basketball game, the leaner, meaner Wendy Palmer dropped 15 pounds in the offseason. She said it had a lot to do with her eating habits while she was away from home. It also has to do with the fact that on August 7th, as the league is on hiatus, as Nikki McRae makes a nice move, guys, she is going to be married to her fiancé, Victor Daniel. She's got to fit into the Ramona Cabeza wedding gown. That will motivate a player, that's for sure, guys.
That'll do it. Yeah, this league will be on hiatus for a couple of weeks during August. The Olympics obviously taking place, and some of these players will be over in Athens playing. And
Diana Taurasi is on that team, and you know, I really thought it'd be a mistake if they didn't put her on that team.
Well, I think she earned her way on there when they played a bunch of games, and she played really well, and she got along great with the core members of the team, and that was really important.
Well, this is the first.
This one's going up.
Shot clock running down. Taurasi off the front edge. The Sun on the run. Debbie Black looking to Sales, who hadn't really been able to get it going either. Williams Franklin high off the glass and in.
And I think that's what this crowd has been waiting for. A little bit of energy from the team, a little bit of running, a little bit of action, and hasn't been there so far.
Well, and Nikisha Sales coming into this season, you always talk about her work ethic. She comes to play hard every day in practice and in a game. But I think she really has to step up as a leader on this team this year.
Wide open look for Diana Taurasi, who had 22 the other night in the loss to Sacramento, and now it's a 3-point lead for Phoenix.
That was one of Diana's favorite plays, where she would set a screen in the lane, then they get a double screen down for her, and she comes out and gets the 3.
The biggest thing is have her teammates find her floating out there.
Just wait long enough for all that to develop. That was a key.
Candice Futrell off the bench. That's a 2-pointer. Just came into the game from Duquesne. The rookie.
When it rains, it pours, huh?
Yeah.
It's all coming together now.
Mike Thibault has 5 rookies on this team. They're all 22, and the only one's 21. And Futrell, great shooter out of Duquesne. He really liked her style.
Off the post up. Taurasi gets it out to DeFord. Rika Wright in the lane, somehow finds her way all the way in, but misses. And Palmer clears the board. You're right, Geno, though. It is a game of runs, basketball is, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And you've got to, if you're a running team, you've got to keep pushing the tempo and know that at some point you're going to get a spurt. But so far, the spurts haven't been long enough. Both teams in the early going really trying to find themselves, and especially, as Ann said, with all the rookies on Connecticut, trying to find a personality in the early going. There's Taurasi. She's hit her last 2.
And there's that footwork.
Yeah. She's got a great release. The setup is everything. And you know, she has such long arms, you know, just great leverage when she shoots the ball. Good defense. McWilliams Franklin nowhere to go. Oh, but a nice dish down to Wendy Palmer, the easy lay-in. It's a 2-point game.
Well, Mike Thibault said coming into this game he thought that Phoenix would be a little tired. Phoenix lost a tough game against Sacramento in their home opener. Had to fly all day yesterday. They did not have a practice.
Taurasi trying to take over the game after the last 2 hoops and draws the foul on Candice Futrell. That's her first. Coming up on our Herbal Essences halftime report, Wired with Diana. Got her mic'd up today, so we'll hear from her and hear from some of the action out on the court. First half reactions, so that's coming up in just a moment. 32.5 left until the Herbal Essences halftime report.
Was Diana, Geno, very vocal when she played for you?
Well, her freshman year, she was vocal in the wrong way because she didn't know what to say. So she said some things and whatever came to her mind. Her junior and senior year, I've never coached a better leader. I've never coached anyone more involved in a game of basketball than Diana.
Do you have to be vocal to be a leader in basketball?
No question. No question. I think it's like being a quarterback in football. You walk in the huddle and everybody better know that you're in charge. And she was in charge from the time we started stretching until practice ended.
Benny Taylor and Adrian Williams into the game. Taurasi's got the last 8 points for the Mercury.
Well, you know, you go 18 minutes without scoring, then you get 8 in the last 2 minutes, and all of a sudden changes the complexion of the game if they could get a couple other people involved.
Couple second difference, shot clock to game clock, 30-second shot clock in the WNBA. DeForge took it away, but McWilliams-Franklin got it back. Off of Sales and saved, and a little bit of time here for the Mercury. Can they get a shot off? She hit one from half court the other night at the buzzer. Not this time. Taurasi misses. But the homecoming for Diana Taurasi, maybe she didn't play quite as well in the first half as she wanted, but she's got 8 points. She is with Doris right now. Doris?
Diana, you were able to get going offensively late in that half. What changed for you?
Nothing. I mean, they just went down. I think we got to focus on just moving the ball right now. I think we're stagnant, we're standing still, so once we get that, we'll be good.
There's a point midway through that half where you went down in a collision with Whalen. What happened to you, Nia? You all right?
Yeah, I just got a little caught. I'm good.
All right, defensively, anything you'd like to see differently?
I think we're doing a good job. I mean, we held a great offensive team. It's 22 points, so we should keep that up.
Good luck in the second half, D. Terry?
All right, Doris, thank you. So it's a 4-point lead for the Mercury in their second game of the year. 26-22 is your score. We'll be back with our Herbal Essences halftime report right after this message and a word from our ABC stations. It is a 4-point lead for the Phoenix Mercury over the Connecticut Sun as we welcome you back to our Herbal Essences halftime report. Not exactly what we expected in the first half. Both teams like to get out and run. Neither was really able to, and both teams should be pretty good shooting teams, but they weren't in the first half. Terry Gannon back with Meyers and Geno Auriemma. So your thoughts at halftime here, bit of a surprising first half, man.
Well, it's a game of spurts. Neither team really got into a rhythm. I thought Phoenix at times, they rebounded the ball well. They got down, but neither team shot the ball well. And the fact that, you know, Connecticut was supposed to go inside. They didn't get one free throw.
Well, when you miss as many shots as both teams missed, and the Mercury got 1 offensive rebound, the Sun got 3. Maybe they're just not working hard enough at getting second shots. You know, when you're missing a lot of shots, you got to find other ways to score, and neither team's been able to do that.
Diana Taurasi, who we focused on obviously from the start of the game on, went 17.5 minutes without scoring, then had 8 in the last few minutes. So she turned it on, maybe a sign of things to come in the second half. We shall see. The Phoenix Mercury with the 4-point lead here at the half. 26-22, Phoenix with the lead over Connecticut. Terry Gannon back with Meyers and Geno Auriemma. We talked about the fact that we didn't have the shootout in the first half, but there were some moments in the first half for both teams.
Well, I mean, when you look at the way both teams played in the first 15 minutes and you say, well, if they keep playing like this, neither team's going to get to 30. Then each team had a spurt, and they looked like the kind of teams we thought we'd see. But it's not enough, not consistent enough, but expected at this point in the season.
I left you hanging. We're talking about the colorful moments presented by Crest, which we're going to take a look at right now. It's sponsored, folks. That's where I was going with that one. Taurasi early on with the defensive, and you talked about how she did that throughout her years in college.
Well, she did.
And Phoenix really came on, I thought, rebounding the ball. Diana Taurasi knocked down a couple threes towards the end of that first half, but they out-rebounded Connecticut 17-16, and as Geno Auriemma said, only 1 offensive rebound for Phoenix, 3 for Connecticut. So, you know, offensively, I think both teams have to be a lot more aggressive, attacking on second and third opportunities and getting in the lane.
Well, and Diana said it right. Better ball movement, better people movement, you know, just to get the game flowing. And from a coach's standpoint, it's very difficult when your players are standing around. Very frustrating, and I'm sure that's where both coaches are right now.
As we go deeper into the game, too, just remember what Ann talked about earlier, the fact that Phoenix played and then had to go cross-country. They may have some fatigue. Right now, Doris is standing by with Mike Thibault, the head coach of Connecticut. Doris?
Mike, obviously it was a struggle offensively. How do you get better on that side?
Well, making some easy shots would help. We've missed 7 layups already. We haven't gotten to the free throw line, although I think we should be there. But, you know, we're playing actually pretty good defense. We're just kind of out of sync. Maybe that's from not playing enough together, but I think we'll get some rhythm back, so I think we'll be okay.
Good luck, Mike. Terry?
All right, Doris. Rhythm is something that has been missing on both ends throughout the entire first half.
Don't you love coaches? You know, he knows all the stats already, how many easy layups they've missed. And then a little dig at the officials. No free throws, but we should have shot some free throws. You know, you can tell Mike's been around the block a little bit.
Geno, how much time did you spend at halftime with your assistant coaches going over what you want to do, as opposed to with your team then telling them what you want to do?
Well, we usually let it go until the 10-minute mark. So you talk to your assistants, you give them all an opportunity to voice what their concerns are, and then at the 10-minute mark, we go in, and then we spend about 7 minutes with the team. So you do maybe about half and half.
Tip controlled by the home team, Connecticut, but Debbie Black gives it right back to Penny Taylor. And here comes Phoenix on the move. McCray with the lay-in. So a fast break point to start the second half, and that's a style that we expected to see throughout this game.
That's the 8th turnover for the Sun. Ball slipped out of Debbie Black's hands, but really important as far as either one of these teams coming out with a lot more energy.
Well, the defensive intensity has been really good, and on both teams, Coach Tebow was right. But the offensive movement has been a little bit stagnant, and as that starts to improve, which it seems like it has already.
Debbie Black, the nice dish underneath to McWilliams-Franklin.
Nikki McCray was not too happy about that pick set on her, but it got her out of the way.
DeForge, who had 8 points in the first half, so did Taurasi. Anna was very hot early in the game. Whistle away from the ball. They're going to get Wendy Palmer, I believe.
Well, one thing Phoenix wanted to do is go over the top of screens right here, and Wendy Palmer just holds her ground, and Nikki McCray didn't turn. She ran right into it. Good job as far as setting the pick up.
Oh, absolutely. You know, a lot of players complain when they get screened hard, but you know, that's what coaches want their players to do. They want to knock somebody down when they're setting a screen.
Well, you hope your teammates talking to you.
That's right.
Knowing that, setting you up, saying, hey, there's a screen coming, and that doesn't always happen.
That last foul, by the way, was on Katie Douglas. Over the top. From beyond the arc. No, that's right on the line. Penny Taylor with her foot on the line, but another look from Taurasi.
And the pass may have looked very easy, but Taylor floated down the corner, and Taurasi was setting it up. I mean, it was already going to the corner before Taylor got there.
It was a nice flare move by Penny Taylor and a really good, well-timed pass by D.
High-low look to Sales, who can't hang on to the basketball, and it goes back to Phoenix.
Well, and D talked about it going out at halftime, saying we just got to get our offense better connected.
A little more movement.
Largest lead of the game for the Mercury. We mentioned they were 8 and 26 last year, trying to turn that around, and there's Taurasi. That's one way to do it.
Well, if you can't get players open, you just take it upon yourself.
Well, Diana Taurasi's problem sometimes is she's too unselfish. She wants to get everybody involved in the offense, when sometimes the best thing is just shoot the ball.
Debbie Black, nowhere to go underneath. And here's Palmer. Taurasi steps in, but that's a blocking foul. Now, if you're Phoenix, you're 0-1, and you think, well, we really need a win because you don't want to start the season 0-2 and start the downslide. But I'm not sure it's as important to win this game for Carrie Graf as it is for Mike Tebow in front of a crowd like this to start the season. You get a sellout crowd, you're at home, you're trying to get people excited about what you're going to do this year.
Well, I think there's two things at work there, Terry. You're absolutely right about that. You want these people to come back with good. Oh, that was almost a great pass there by Taj McWilliams. But I think too, if you're the Connecticut Sun, you do not want to be losing to teams that are in the lower division of the league. The Phoenix Mercury are not going to be one of the best teams in the league, and so you've got them at home. You've got to get this. You've got to get these kinds of wins.
And both teams kind of start the year really not having a great sense of where they are going to end up and what type of team they're going to have.
But then on the other hand, what I like about Phoenix that Diana Taurasi brings to the table is that she hates to lose. And after the game that they lost to Sacramento, and Sacramento deserved to win that game, but I thought it was also very winnable for Phoenix to get that home opener. They lost their last preseason game. She goes, we've lost 2 in a row. I don't want to lose anymore. And to bring that attitude, I think the players have to bring that attitude from when they lost. They only won 8 games last year.
Pump fake, Debbie Black. McWilliams-Franklin the turnaround off the glass and in.
Well, the attitude that Diana brings to the court is half of her of her unique ability, and the other half obviously is a tremendous basketball skill.
Taylor out top, but you do have to learn how to not have the emotional highs and lows at this level. Sales lost it, got it back, and gets it to go.
Now that was a perfect example, Terry, I think, with Diana. She wanted the ball, she didn't get it soon enough, the defense had already come up, and then the spacing wasn't good.
Well, I've been around Keisha Sales long enough to know if you make a mistake, I don't care how small, she's going to end up with the basketball.
All-time leading scorer at Connecticut, Keisha Sales. All-time steals also.
National champion, but of course, who wasn't? Scramble, Williams Franklin gets it up to Katie Douglas. Yeah. Sales nowhere to go. From beyond the arc, no good. But Douglas the offensive rebound. So Tebow trying to set up a play here. Sales with Williams Franklin. She likes that.
Right now the Sun are playing 5-on-4 because absolutely no one's guarding Debbie Black. So it's very tough for them to get anything going because there's always someone free to double team.
And Geno, she hit a shot from the outside to start the game and hasn't looked to do it since.
Correct.
McCray, the bounce pass into Williams. Nice, nifty little move inside for Adrian Williams.
That's her first basket of the game.
And she is one of the veterans for this team in her 5th year out of USC.
She was an all-star last year.
Don't hold it against her. Mercury on the run. There goes Williams, and she is fouled by Black. So a little offensive pressure now being applied by the Mercury as they're getting out and running, which they have wanted to do throughout this game, and they want to do all season long. Williams working inside, getting the last bucket. It's a 7-point lead.
The WNBA on ABC, brought to you by Secret, the official antiperspirant of the WNBA. Dell, flexible enterprise solutions that are easy to buy, easy to own, easy as Dell. Nokia, connecting people. And Adidas basketball, impossible is nothing.
The Mohegan Sun Arena here at what is a great resort in the southeastern part of Connecticut. 7-point lead for Phoenix. Right now, let's check in with Doris Burke.
Terry, the frustration of Mike Tebow reached a boiling point in that last huddle. He slammed his chair, then he slammed the clipboard. He looked at his players and he said, what part of this don't you understand? Throw the ball into the post. We've got to establish our inside game. He said, if the double comes, then kick it out. Shooters, make sure you're shooting on balance, but obviously they are not taking advantage of their size inside, and he would like to see them do that, guys.
Yeah, Doris, and to further prove that point, they have yet to have a free throw attempt. They have yet to go to the line in the game, which is amazing because that's one of the things he wanted to establish right away, early in the game.
When you got to get inside, you got to attack just on that move, and even if you get it blocked, you got to start hitting the offensive glass, too.
And usually you go to the free throw line by being more aggressive, moving the defense. When a defense is standing still all the time, you're not getting them to smack at you and knock you down. And that's exactly what's happening with the Sun right now. There's a lack of aggressiveness on their part.
Well, and they just turned the ball over for the 12th time. Debbie Black having a tough time seeing over everybody at 5'3", and you know, she's having I think a difficult time because of the size factor out there.
Connecticut's got 5 turnovers this half. Not this time, though. Running shot from Wendy Palmer, who's trying to get her squad back into it. 7-point lead for Phoenix.
You talked about what great shape Wendy Palmer has come back in. When she was in this league the very first year in Utah, she was 2nd in the WNBA in rebounds. And she has hit the boards in this game. She wants to get back to those kind of numbers.
Lynette Pearson misses badly, and here comes Connecticut. You sense a run, perhaps?
Yeah, if you can push it. You know, it's just don't walk the ball up the floor. If you're not open, back cut, you know, just keep moving.
There's the rookie from Minnesota, Whalen. McWilliams Franklin, strong move along the baseline. Little jump hook in and out with the left hand.
But a lot of it's being dribbled up. It's not being passed up.
Yeah.
Taurasi never saw Nikisha Sales.
There's a lot of people that haven't seen Nikisha Sales over the years.
Good look from Whalen down low to Palmer. And it's a 5-point game. So Palmer now with 8 in the game on 4 of 8 shooting.
Creating easy buckets. That's what, whichever team starts to do that, that's which team's going to win this game.
Adrian Williams, as the game's pace picks up just a little bit, here comes his son. Whalen up to Katie Douglas.
Well, when you take quick shots like that, it's very difficult for you have your teammates come in and get some kind of rebound because they're not ready for the quick shot.
Maybe a little pep talk from Mike Thibault got his squad going. Lindsay Whalen with a nice cross-court pass down low to Palmer for the last bucket.
Oh, she had,
yeah,
go ahead.
Just keep your head up and keep looking up the floor and have people sprint.
And she's more focused on snapping the ball a little bit more.
Palmer underneath, off the out of bounds, and now she's in double figures. So it's a 3-point game, and that run that we maybe sensed a minute ago, here it is. Taurasi wants it on the block against Whalen. The 2 rookies head-to-head, spin down low. She draws the foul.
Well, and Geno, you said it coming out in this second half. If Phoenix is willing to be patient in the offense and rotate it from side to side, you're going to get better looks.
Well, we have
but when they took the quick shots, they weren't ready at all.
And excuse me, you can play fantasy basketball with the WNBA virtual GM on WNBA.com. Build your own dream team. Give yourself a chance to win a trip to the 2004 WNBA Finals.
Phoenix is 6 of 7 from the free throw line, and Connecticut still has not gotten to the line. And I really think Phoenix, the advantage they could have if they continue to post up Diana Taurasi. But she's so vital on the outside as a perimeter player.
But this is where frustration and fatigue start to take their toll when players start to miss free throws that are really good shooters.
The 2 misses by Taurasi in Connecticut in the midst of a 6-0 run since that timeout when Thibault talked to his team.
What was so impressive about Diana Taurasi when she came into Connecticut, she shot 87% from the free throw line.
Yeah, she's always been a terrific free throw shooter. You know, I think Connecticut can really go on a huge run.
Katie Douglas from 3-point range now.
If Brungo and Asia Jones get back in the game with a lot of these young kids, that's when the energy picked up in the first half. And you know what? At about the 11 or 10 minute mark, I would expect that to happen again.
And again, the fatigue factor may come into play for Phoenix. Look at Diana's numbers. Remember, she went 17.5 minutes to start the game without scoring. Sales, 3-pointer, The 6-0 run, all from Wendy Palmer, and yet the last 2 times down, they fire from long range.
And see, Phoenix, you know, they've got versatility on the perimeter with Taurasi and Wright and DeForge and McCray, but nobody's a true point guard except Taurasi in handling that ball.
McWilliams-Franklin got caught out top, but still arguing about it as we go to break. 3-point lead for the Mercury. Almost midway through the second half, and Connecticut in the middle of a run here. They've gotten to within 3. Phoenix still with the lead, though. Nikisha Sales, a 5-time All-Star in the WNBA. Trying to get it done for the Connecticut Sun, their home opener. Phoenix, of course, 0-1. And just a moment ago, the steal, and eventually the bucket by Nikisha Sales. Secret, strong play of the game.
In 2001, when this team was in Orlando, she was number 3 in the WNBA in steals.
Yeah, the Orlando Miracle, which became the Connecticut Sun. This is the 2nd year for the Sun. Taurasi on the block. Kicking it back. Little 2-man game. Strong move inside and one.
You almost have to front Diana Taurasi when she's in the low post, because if she catches it in front of you, it's just very, very difficult. She gets the ball and she has such a quick spin, and she's able to stay on balance. Her arms are so long that she gets the shot up and doesn't get it blocked. I've almost never seen her get a shot blocked.
Why do people settle to stay behind her?
Well, because she's so strong in her upper body, she won't let you get around in front of her. But you have to. I mean, otherwise you're giving up a bucket.
Wendy Palmer picked up the foul on the reach just a moment ago. So a 6-point game. Here's Douglas. And the rookie Whalen lets it fly. Palmer had it, couldn't keep it. So I saw the timeout a moment ago, and then the run by the Sun, and maybe after this timeout, Phoenix looking to do the same.
Well, it's not a bad shot by Whalen. She was wide open. And again, that one timeout, Mike Thibault said, when are we going to get the ball inside? When they've gotten the ball inside of their post players, they've been successful.
Connecticut 0 for 7 from three-point land.
And you can see Phoenix has really changed their mode. They're looking to get the ball inside, but again, they get it inside and everybody's kind of floating back. Nobody's looking to get a second rebound off the miss.
Well, that's why they have one offensive rebound.
For the Jones,
right?
No.
Yeah, people just stand and watch, and nobody's going. You've got to.
You know, it's not a bad strategy because the Sun wants to run so much. So the Phoenix has decided we'll give up the offensive rebounding. We'll just sprint back on defense and make them have to beat us in their half court.
Take away what they want to do most. Taurasi the fade away. How about that shot along the baseline?
And the ball was slipping out of her hands, and she still. The one thing about Diana, she has incredibly large hands, and she can do things with the basketball that other people have trouble doing.
Taurasi's got 16 in the game.
Well, that's one thing people talk about Michael Jordan, the size of his hands, and the WNBA ball is a slippery ball,
Right,
and it's kind of a hard ball, but she has adapted so well into this league and just such a great touch.
Yeah, well, the players are probably blaming the ball. They ought to get that stuff off it and just leave it plain leather and see if that happens. At least that way you can convince the players maybe it's not the ball, it's you guys need to shoot more.
You think there's a problem with the ball?
Well, it's interesting talking to a lot of the veteran players. They want to go with a regular size ball because that's what they play with, playing against the guys or playing over in Europe. And the younger players, they've grown up playing with the smaller ball.
Well, that's a good play right there. That's
Tomorrow
that's
more
patience
with the
on the
bucket.
break. That's
Right.
patience on the break. But, you know, FIFA now, the governing body of world basketball, they're going to the small ball, which is, to me, I think it's insane. I think everybody should play with the same basketball, except for maybe Biddy League. Everybody should play with the same exact basketball.
You see a big difference in the game with the smaller ball?
Well, in the beginning, I've never liked it. I didn't play with it, obviously, but the WBL, the first women's pro league back in '78, '79, introduced the small ball. And the rim is designed for two regular-sized balls to go in at the same time. So now you have a larger cylinder with a smaller ball, more chance for it to go out. Well, and also when you're handling, it just flies out of your hand, and the big players have a tough time handling it.
People said that it was supposed to help the women players because they had smaller hands and you know, all that other
that's
stuff.
What I didn't
well,
believe.
guess what? That's not the case anymore. Everybody says Shaq has trouble shooting free throws because his hands are so big and the ball's small. Well, a lot of these kids are the same way.
The one thing it's helped as far as confidence and distance.
That was the first free throw of the game for Connecticut, by the way. A reminder, tomorrow at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, bump day at the Indianapolis 500 time trials. Drivers trying to make the final cut. And, of course, at the Brickyard next Sunday, Memorial Day weekend for the big one, the Indianapolis 500 next Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on ABC. I'll be there.
You going to be there?
I will be there.
Man, I wish I was going.
The Indianapolis 500, one of the great days on the sports calendar every year. 8-point lead for Phoenix. Taurasi again. She's got it rolling in the second half. Well, if the fans came to see Diana Taurasi, and many of them did, they're getting a show here in the second half.
She's just got his own going on.
Yeah, well, I hope they show that replay because what happens, what Diana does is she catches it and just holds the ball, and while you have your hands down, you don't think she's going to shoot. She shoots it before you have a chance to recover.
She's, like you said, she's so strong, too, in that quick release.
There are certain players who have made that an art. Mark Price used to be one of them. Yeah. You think he was doing nothing, and all of a sudden the ball was out.
That's right. By doing nothing, they get you to do nothing, and then all of a sudden the shot's up in the air, and you're wishing you have been contesting it.
And right now, Mike Thibault is very frustrated. He feels that his players are trying to get the ball inside to get some physical contact to get themselves at the line.
Whalen almost had it. Tipped out of bounds. It stays right here.
Oh, this is going to be right here. She's going to flare out there, The hands are down. One of the things we worked on in Connecticut is whenever the defensive player has their hands down, just shoot it, because they'll never get their hands up in time to contest your shot. And that's exactly what happened right there.
You should always have one hand up, and you could see that off that switch, Connecticut was not sure where she was going to be.
Yep.
11 seconds on the shot clock. Forge, who's been quiet since the early couple of minutes, and there she goes. The bucket for DeForge, the 5'10" guard out of Nebraska, and she's got 10. The 20 also breaking the action. 12-2 run right now, and it's a 13-point lead for the Mercury.
Well, like Geno said coming in, Terry, I think that Connecticut's a team that's looking for Taj McWilliams, Nikisha Sales, Wendy Palmer, their front line to score. Phoenix is a team this year that has so much balance. People know that Diana Taurasi can score, but she sets everybody else up. And because of that balance, it's tough to defend.
When you think about this league and who has the best chance of winning it this year, LA has done that before, obviously. Detroit did it last year. And back here on ABC next Saturday at 4 Eastern, those two teams hook up. And look ahead, Thursday, June 3rd, Phoenix taking on Seattle on ESPN2. LA again at Houston on ABC on June 5th at 4 Eastern. So just getting underway here in the 8th season of the WNBA.
Well, Rebecca Lobo, who just retired from this Connecticut Sun team and Player of the Year for you at Connecticut when you won the national championship. They're going to have a special night for her Thursday night.
Yeah, they're giving away 4,000 bobblehead dolls. Rebecca bobblehead dolls.
She's in the building tonight with Adam Silver, David Stern's right-hand man, so to speak.
Steve here too?
I don't see Steve, but Val Ackerman's here, the president of the WNBA.
Moore with the spin. Taurasi giving it back outside, and a DeForge again. 2 straight buckets. This one a three-pointer for DeForge, and it's a 52-36 lead. And Phoenix has hit its last 6 shots.
And that was an unselfish move right there.
Right now, the Connecticut Sun has just totally lost any kind of composure that they had before, and they seem to be just they're leaking oil right now. That's what, since the India 500 is coming up, they're a car that's leaking oil.
Yeah, you gotta like it. Crossover, baby. Yeah, they look like the team that's fatigued, not Phoenix right now. Whalen all the way to the hoop, misses. Taurasi the board, and a strong one at that.
Well, Phoenix got that run going on. Now they're controlling the tempo of the game. They're slowing things down. They don't have to run it like they wanted to earlier.
Moore against Whalen. Here's Taylor. Good ball movement to Taurasi, who let it fly quickly. McWilliams Franklin now out to Whalen. Lindsay was a 2-time All-American at Minnesota. Sales from beyond the arc, no. Saw the promo a moment ago with the games coming up. Who do you like this year? I mean, out the West is tough, obviously, and LA has got to be the first team to talk about.
It's funny that, like in the NBA, you know, where you could almost have the finals from the Western Conference, you know, pick the top 4 teams in the West.
Taurasi again, and the tongue hanging out.
Now, where did this tongue thing come from? Because it's
because she's, you know, one of those. I don't know what the right word is, but if she's not on your team, you just want to knock her brains out. She just likes to have fun, and she knows she's good, and she likes to rub it in every once in a while.
As McWilliams Franklin, the bucket underneath. 17-point game. Taurasi, by the way, with 22 in the game. That's what she ended up with the other night against Sacramento.
I think the Western Conference is so strong, but I think Detroit, obviously, last year made a huge run for the East, and Washington, I think, really helped themselves.
There's Sales, a 2-pointer.
And everybody thought Connecticut, you know, really improved themselves, but based on tonight, I think they're going to go back and say we still have a lot of work to do.
20-second timeout. But you find out a lot about your squad here, and the point that you made, a lot of these players, the veterans, were overseas. They got to camp late. They may have played 1, maybe 2 preseason games. That's it. May have worked with the team for 4 or 5 days. And then the rookies, you expect them to make mistakes early.
Well, the one thing, we're only in our 8th year in the WNBA. It's still a very young league. And every year there has been something different. We started out with 8 teams and went to 10 teams. We had the ABL come in. We had the 2000 Olympics. We had, the Players Union had the contract. Every year. And this year's no different. Cleveland is not in it this year. With the dispersal draft, and now we've got the Olympics where in August that month shuts down. And coming back, teams that have Olympians, I think are going to be affected because of the burnout situation. Houston might be a team that's affected because Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, and Van Chancellor, the head coach. Also Seattle with Sue Bird, Lauren Jackson, and Ann Donovan.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the price you pay for being really good. That's, there's nothing you can do about that.
DeForge looking for 3 in a row. Dutrell with the foul. And Anna DeForge will go to the free throw line.
Cardinal sin here in basketball. You should never, ever foul the jump shooter, especially if that jump shooter is Diana Taurasi. But, when she gets on a roll like this, there's nothing you can do to stop her. She's going to shoot it every time she touches it. And it's a lot of different things. Jump shots, fadeaways. She just loves it.
Phoenix has outscored Connecticut 29-18 here in the second half. They have a 15-point lead right now. Let's check in with Doris Burke.
Well, Terry, should this 15-point advantage hold up? We've got a long way to go, 5 minutes. But just to give you a little bit of perspective, the last double-digit road win for the Phoenix Mercury came back on July 14th, 2001. It was at Minnesota. But it gives a little bit of perspective on the influence of Diana Taurasi in just her rookie season, leading the way for the Phoenix Mercury today. They still got some time left, but we'll see how this holds up, guys.
All right, Doris, look at the numbers today on Diana, but you do have to be careful. Not today. You have a 15-point lead. She's played awfully well in the second half. But as you said, wearing her out over the course of a long season and expecting her to do too much and do this night in, night out.
Well, the one good thing is, if Diana wasn't here right now playing, she'd probably be somewhere else playing.
Yeah.
So she's the kind of kid that likes to play basketball 365 days a year.
But she doesn't burn herself out.
No, she doesn't.
Like some kids do.
No, because you know what? She's not the kind of kid that's going to spend 3 hours working on her jump shot. She'll spend an hour and say, I'm done. It's quality of work that works for Diana, not how much time she puts in. But I think it's the travel that wears you out in this league. So if they could do something about the travel, that would help.
Well, it's huge. You had charters.
Yeah.
If you would lend them your private jet, I'm sure they would be very happy with that.
Diana could probably get whatever she wants from Mr. Colangelo. Maybe a private jet's in the works.
Slobodanka Tuvic off the bench from Yugoslavia. Her first foul of the game just a moment ago.
Well, Phoenix shooting 61% in the second half, where they were 36 in the first half, 33 for Connecticut in the first half, 40% in the second half.
This Phoenix team has a real nice makeup about it.
Look at that, Geno. 2 for 2. That's it for Connecticut from the line in this game.
Yeah, it's just...
Well, that's one thing Mike Thibault will either say about the officials or the fact that he'll say to his players, it's like, you are not aggressive inside. We need to get the ball inside, whether it be to the post players or dribble penetration and looking for shots.
Jessica Brungo with the rebound. She's played well today.
She's going to help them a lot because she can come in and spell a lot of different people. And one thing I haven't seen enough of is maybe Nikisha slashing to the basket and trying to draw fouls. Katie Douglas maybe spotting up. They just haven't been able to use all the weapons that they have at their disposal. And again, I think Mike Thibault just hasn't had his team together long enough.
Yeah, they just out of sync.
Right.
And all the rookies, all the changes that he made. He said, I looked at the East. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year and just didn't think by sitting pat we could do it again this year. We had to make changes.
They lost 6 players, too.
Tuvic picked up her 3rd foul in just a few moments off the bench. 17-point lead for the Mercury. _17-point lead for Phoenix on the road here at Connecticut, trying to even up their record at 1-and-1. In the second half, it has been all Diana Taurasi, and much of that has been from beyond the arc. 7 of 13 in the game, and 5 of 7 from three-point range as he's had it going, Geno.
Well, and Diana, she doesn't need a lot of shots to get her points, and what she does so well is she moves without the ball, she gets her feet set, and then she has the real quick release. And sometimes players that are really good shooters don't know how to get open. Diana knows how to get open, and she's a great shooter, and that's a lethal combination.
And you talked also too about she knows everybody's position. So not only in getting open, she knows where to get open, because where everybody else should be.
22 points in the game, and again, she didn't score until there were 2.5 minutes left in the first half.
And only second free throws by somebody else. Asia Jones had 2 free throws, and now Taj McWilliams-Franklin at the free throw line for Connecticut.
Yeah, so these put those 22 points up in just 20 minutes, in effect. And I think she does sense at times, I need to start shooting the ball. I need to take over. And this team's going to need her to do that on a regular basis.
And her teammates are going to have to recognize that.
Absolutely. Right now, Phoenix is just going to spread the floor out, kill some time on the shot clock.
Eddie Taylor, fade away, no, off the hand of Katie Douglas, it looked like, but they're going to give it to Connecticut. Taurasi will have a word or two with the official, which she tends to do now and again.
Yes, she does. She has never been invited to dinner by any of the officials in her 4 years at Connecticut. I don't understand why.
Douglas, a clear lane all the way to the hoop.
Now, that's one of the few times that that's happened, and the reason for that is right now Phoenix is playing not to give up the 3, so it does open up the lane a little bit.
Well, the breakdown as far as their weak side defense on the rotation.
Katie Douglas with 4. Remember, she hit a shot early in the game from the perimeter. Hasn't been heard from since. The Forge, who's in double figures herself. How about that?
Just the ability to be off balance, still keep your shoulders squared, falling away. The strength that she has is just unique. And poor Lindsay Whalen can't get anything to drop at the other end. Play some defense, would you?
And Taurasi looks over at her old coach as if to say, yeah, how do you like me now with 24 points?
Well, that's just it. You always expect her to play both ends of the floor.
Well, you know, she's actually become a real good defender.
There she is again in the lane, not this time. See, she shouldn't look over here. She's rubbing it in to Geno, and she goes down and misses. Douglas again with the left hand.
You can take her out of California, but you can't take the California out of her. She just likes to have fun playing basketball. She's got just an indomitable spirit and doesn't mean anybody any harm. She just loves playing the game.
Under 2 minutes to go. They're thrown away. Back to the Sun. Well, today's Cascade dish and assist winner, Anna DeForge, who's had a solid game, hit the 3 buckets to start the game and really set the tone for Phoenix, and since then has played well. She's got 15 in the game, 5 of 7 from the field.
Well, she was the leading scorer last year's team, and this year she's got to play a little bit different role. She's got to handle the ball a little bit more with Diana Taurasi in the backcourt with her, and some new faces on this Phoenix team.
You see that as a problem through the year as you look ahead, the fact that they don't really have a true point guard, that they have to use different people to do that.
Well, you can say it's a positive in the sense that they've got such versatile players that have the ability to do that, but then you have to have somebody take charge like a Diana Taurasi, that this is going to be the point guard at that situation to understand. I mean, you had Maria Conlon also on the team that played, they both interchanged with each other.
Yeah, I've always thought having 2 point guards on the floor was always a positive. We've always played with a 3-guard lineup, which is even more of a positive for us. Having Diana be able to bring the ball up the floor, slide over, the more ball handlers and shooters you have, I think the better team you're going to have.
The WNBA this afternoon. Tonight on ESPN, the NBA playoffs continue. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Ben Wallace and the Pistons taking on the Pacers at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. More NBA action. Go to ESPN.com. Search NBA. So the Lakes getting the win on the road in the first game of the series against the T-Wolves.
Tell me somebody's not rigging this whole thing. I mean, Rick Carlisle has probably the 2 best seasons of any coach ever, and he gets let go.
That's right.
They bring in Larry Brown, who's an unbelievable coach, obviously. And who do they end up playing
That's right.
for the finals? The 2 of them, right?
That's right.
Come on, you couldn't write that script any better.
In Minnesota, they had to be fatigued coming off that 7-game series.
You know, that's...
And they didn't have time to get ready for LA, only 1 day.
Whalen fouled as he slices through the double. Here's a guy working in TV today. Everybody always thinks it's a conspiracy by television to set up the playoffs. And here's a guy in TV, and he thinks it is.
No, I just think it's good. I mean, they orchestrated it. I mean, I don't think anybody orchestrated, but I mean, isn't it ironic that those 2 teams would end up playing each other, and the story's going to be Larry Brown and Rick Carlisle, and unfortunately, you know, that's what everybody's going to want to talk about.
You're right. And just the fact that the Lakers got to this point based on that incredible finish before going back to LA. I mean, that series is totally different, and the Spurs probably win it, in many people's opinions, if that shot doesn't go in. Taurasi's second foul, by the way.
Well, even New Jersey, firing Byron Scott. Gets in the NBA playoffs twice.
It's a crazy thing. You know, it really, really is.
Mike Montgomery leaving Stanford.
Yeah, what did you think about that
Musselman
today?
getting
It's been there for 18 years, and now he's going to Golden State.
Hey, you know, the league is going like on both ends now. You know, you got UB Brown coming out of retirement, who's 70, and you got Mike Montgomery coming right out of college.
I think they ought to ask Jack Ramsey.
Hey, you know, Jack comes out. Dick Motto will come back and coach. You know? If you're a good coach, you're a good coach, I guess.
The game changes, but it's still a simple game that's hard to play well. More from beyond the arc. Taylor over the back. Penny Taylor picking up her 3rd foul.
You know, Phoenix is not careful here, and a couple free throws, a couple threes, you know, and they're going to make what is a real easy win, one of those, you know,
and this is a team
limping off the court.
It's like Sacramento. They were in it, but they've got to become a team that knows how to win at the end, especially when they're close. And if they've got this kind of lead, because they only won 8 games last year, they've got to be a team that understands that you can't just play not to lose.
Well, when you haven't won a lot and you get up 15, I'm sure Carrie Graf right there, you're looking at her, that they're going to start celebrating when they're up 15 with 3 minutes to go, and they don't realize the game's not over yet.
Right.
Because they're just so excited to be up 15 on the road.
Nicole Willingham with 2 free throws. The rookie from Auburn off the bench, getting some playing time for the Sun. So under a minute and the 9-point lead as Taurasi holds against Whalen. Taurasi certainly did her end and held up her part of the bargain in the comeback here home to Connecticut. And all the fans who came out to see her today, a sellout crowd to come out and see the Sun and Diana Taurasi. Lindsay Whalen, Geno, got a ways to go to adjust.
I just think she's putting a little bit of pressure on herself, and she's gonna be fine. She's a great kid who's got tremendous character. Hey, there's a part of it right there. See that?
And plus, she'll have the opportunity to play and get a lot of minutes under her belt.
She's got great skills with the ball. Intense competitor. You don't teach this. This is just a knack that you have for the game. You've got to love the way she approaches the game, and the fans in Connecticut are going to fall in love with her. And they're never going to forget Diana, but they're going to fall in love with Lindsay Whalen.
Well, and they're looking for that point guard to take control of this team.
Almost 2,300 points in her college career, and she averaged 20 points a game in college. taking Minnesota to the first ever Final Four. It's a 6-point game. I mean, stranger things have happened. With that last bucket and the free throw, we've got ourselves a game.
Again, I think that Phoenix got a little bit too lackadaisical. I mean, they thought that they had this in hand, and I really thought Connecticut might press a little bit more, put some pressure on them. And because they are tired, maybe try and take that ball out of Diana Taurasi's hands.
That's what coaches complain about all the time with their players. You play the same way, regardless. You don't ever play against the scoreboard, and you play until the game ends. And I think Phoenix just took it for granted that Connecticut was just going to say, okay, you win and we lose.
Isn't it a fine line, though, too, as a coach and as a player, because you want your team, especially early in the season, to learn how to use the clock and milk the clock and be smart, but you want them still to be aggressive. That's hard to do.
That is very difficult to do when you tell players, be aggressive, but be patient.
Right.
That's very difficult. Very difficult, especially for young players.
Well, this game was so close for so long, and neither team played really well. Phoenix got on that run, and again, we talked about maybe the immaturity of this Phoenix team and not understanding how to win. And when you get up, sometimes it's tough to keep that lead mentally.
Yeah, it's just continuing. Even if you're trying to run the clock out, it's continuing to explore.
And you practice those things.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. But I'm not sure they've had enough time to, get to know each other's names, much less work on this kind of stuff.
Kerry Graff in the huddle, the head coach of the Phoenix Mercury, today's General Motors player of the game. No surprise here. Diana Taurasi, there are her numbers. 24 points on 5 of 7 from beyond the three-point line. GM will donate $1,000 to Make-A-Wish Foundation on behalf of Diana Taurasi.
Connecticut on a 9-0 run.
And the Sun choosing to foul right away. Rookie debuts. Take a look at those numbers, Ann.
Well, you see Tamika Catchings, who I think is one of the best players in the world right now, behind Lisa Leslie and Cheryl Swoops. And Shamika Holzclaw, her debut, 18 points. A lot of expectations when she came out of college from Tennessee, Player of the Year.
Derek Janik commits the foul in the WNBA. If you're not in the bonus, which is 8 fouls with under a minute left, you commit a foul, and then the next one automatically sends the team to the free throw line.
I like that rule. I think that's a good rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good rule.
It avoids a lot of useless going out there and having to foul and foul just to get to the bonus.
That's the Shaq rule.
Yep.
When they played Philadelphia.
Well, it's got to be an exciting time for Carrie to get her first win in the WNBA.
Well, they've got new ownership, and Brian Agler, who was with Minnesota and is an assistant coach, helping out.
8-point game. Whalen pushing it up. Butrell, the three, in and out. Follow up is good, and the foul underneath, which is not what you want to do at all. Nicole Williams gets the bucket. She's going to go to the free throw line, and the clock stops. Anna DeForge picks up the foul. I'd be frantic too if I were Kerry Graff.
That was kind of a phantom foul right there. I'm not sure if there was a foul there, but a foul was called.
5-point game, so a 2-possession game. Williams did a nice job off the bench with 5 points.
Well, they had Courtney Coleman. It was between Courtney Coleman and Nicole Willingham, and a rookie from Auburn this year, and playing in the SEC. But Courtney Coleman out of Ohio State, good footwork and everything. It was a tough decision for Mike Tebow.
Well, we played against Nicole Willingham in the second round game of the NCAA tournament this year, and I'll tell you what, the 2 days before we played them, I said, there's no way that we can guard her. There's nobody on our team, including coaches, players, managers, anybody that can guard her. She's unbelievable around the basket. Just unbelievable. I'm not surprised she made the team.
How many can you actually guard in college basketball?
Nobody even sitting at this table, to be honest with you.
Timeout, Connecticut, 7-point lead for the Phoenix Mercury. Connecticut out of timeouts. That 20 being used up by Mike Tebow.
And see, if you're Mike Tebow right now, that's exactly what you got to do. You got to be drawing stuff up. Everybody in the stands thinks well, the game's over. But you know what? You're drawing stuff up right now because if the game's 58-56 down the road, you will have gone over something in a game situation. And the same thing, if you're carry grab, you're sitting there going, all right, this is what we're going to do. Not for this situation as much as for the next time we're in this situation.
Obviously, practice is where coaches teach, but don't you think players learn just as much, probably even more, during games than they do in practice?
I think they pay attention better in games than they do in practice. No question.
And you realize, oh, that stuff in practice does work.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Generally, what you say in practice goes in one ear and out the other, and then after they screwed up in the game, they come back and go, oh, yeah, coach, you were right.
It's called the white line syndrome. Get inside those white lines, it changes.
Dutrell. Now.
There she is.
Hey, there she is again. Willingham with another bucket. She's got 7. DeForge looking for somebody to get it into, and Taurasi goes to meet the basketball and is fouled. There, Janik picks up her second foul. So Taurasi with 24 in the game, looking for more to extend the lead.
Well, Phoenix will have that rest. They don't play again until next Friday against Seattle.
Connecticut suiting up once again on Tuesday against Houston, and then Thursday against LA. 4 straight home games to start the season. So 26 in the game for Taurasi. Whalen let one fly at the buzzer. Now, so the Mercury coming here to Connecticut, spoiling the home opener for the Sun. Diana Taurasi, 26 points, 5 of 7 from beyond the arc, and Phoenix getting the win. Back with final thoughts in just a moment.
Welcome back to Connecticut, where the Phoenix Mercury have won 65-58. 2 games into your WNBA season. What's your impression of life in the WNBA?
That's mediocre in my standards, so we got to pick it up a little bit. But you know what? Whenever you come in a place like this and get a victory, especially on the road and in the league, it's tough, so we'll take it.
Good luck the rest of the way, Diana. Terry, 20+ in each of her first 2 games. Not a bad start.
Just mediocre for Taurasi. 65-58, your final. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Search ABC Sports. ABC's World News Tonight, Saturday, or your local news. Coming up next over most of these ABC stations, except on the West Coast. This is ABC Sports Championship Television. So long, everybody.
It's almost here. The 1-hour season